We are down to 4. The conference semifinals are set, and wait until the last minute. Welcome to All Talk, All USL Talk. USL correlated scores, news, and developments in the second highest division of the United States men's professional soccer system, the USL Championship. I'm your host, as always, Vince Galvano. Happy Monday, November 10, 2025, episode number 74, episode 35 of season 2 of Talk USL. Everywhere podcasts are available, can be found on all social media platforms. Talk USL, at Talk USL. Also, you can always write me at the Gmail, Talk USL Championship at gmail.com. Whoa. We got so much to talk about beyond the scope of just the playoffs, player of the month, coaching changes, North Carolina coming out with a big announcement, also a big announcement for USL League One once it releases. That just so much. It has been, what a week it was in the USL Championship, and I feel like I always say that, but this one in particular, holy smokes! I mean, you talk about, I said it in the beginning, last gasp winners, pretty much. New Mexico, FC Tulsa, holy smokes. And then Cream, as the Macho Man always said, I'm going back to pro wrestling references, even though Macho Man is way beyond my time. I'm not even 30 yet, but he was in the 80s. But Cream always rises to the top. Yeah. Albert Diqua. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? The guy who you could argue fell off the face of the map was like, yeah, he used to be great. It's kind of like when you watch the Space Jam movie, and then that's not Charles Barkley. That just looks like Charles Barkley. Your powers get taken away, but all of a sudden he found it, and holy smokes, for a guy that's only scored 5 goals, 2 of which in this game. We'll start with the Rhode Island game, and then we'll get into the others. But we had FC Tulsa taking on Phoenix Rising in the conference quarterfinals. That was the first seed, the remaining first seed left against Phoenix. We'll talk about that. Detroit taking on Pittsburgh. Detroit, the 8th seed in this, the only 8th seed left, taking on a Pittsburgh side who, if you asked them, before these playoffs started, would we host a game? Probably not. No, they got to host one at Highmark Stadium. It was ballistic. People were going berserk. Also the Lab, don't forget, New Mexico, 3rd seed against the 7th seed Orange County. And then we also had North Carolina taking on Rhode Island, the 7th seed. Rhode Island, North Carolina, the 3rd seed as well. So we're going to talk those games and more. But first and foremost, the player of the month, you had guessed it. Well, I had guessed it. I mean, of course, the panel, the media, and the USL vote would have gone in favor of Peter Wilson. So Peter Wilson, congratulations to the Liberian forward who recorded 6 goals and 2 assists to get the Golden Boot in the month of October. I mean, just he led the championship, 8 goal contributions across 8 appearances, a goal every approximately 75 minutes, leading with the plus 2.74 goals added mark. He was also nominated for Player of the Month in September. He finished second, remember, to Jorge Hernandez of San Antonio as he began the scoring streak. But the 29-year-old Golden Boot winner, 18 goals in the regular season. He had said, and quote, the biggest key to my performances over the past 2 months is confidence. Going on a scoring streak builds confidence. I was able to go into every game with that confidence in myself, confidence in the team to go out and play football the way I know we can. He also said in regarding to the offseason, saying that this offseason with this run and form is going to keep me motivated to work even harder, to keep working to confirm this was just not a good year for me. It can only get better knowing that things kind of got started for me after this summer. Now I can get started with the offseason, get the work done next year with spirits high, with the biggest piece of my run and form just happening in October. So he did not win the fan vote. He tied second between JD Williams and the fan vote. Chris Hagard of OC, and OC always pulls out. They had 38% of the fan vote, which only carried about 19% of the total weight. And that was pretty much it for Hagard, because media vote went with Peter Wilson. 100% of the USL vote, technical committee, went with Peter Wilson. So in the end, he had 56% of the aggregated vote, with Chris Hagard finishing in second place with 19, JJ Williams in third with 16, and then Women's Pasius with 8% of the vote towards the end. So congratulations to Peter Wilson, and yeah, dream big. Don't look past the likes of Mamadou Dieng for a guy that was just a nobody, came into Hartford, ran onto form, and now is playing in the MLS. There's always ways to climb up, especially if you're reaching that 29-year-old, which is peak form for a striker typically. If you look in the past, that just like 27 to 31 is just like that is it. That is like the twilight of your career, you could probably say. Coaching changes wise, two big things. One I'm not agreeing with, one I am agreeing with. Let's start with the one I'm agreeing with. Colorado Springs Switchbacks announcing on Tuesday sporting director Stephen Hogan, head coach James Chambers. They are no longer a part of the team. They played, obviously, the duo a key role over 5 seasons. Don't forget, 2024 USL Championship title. The reigning defending champions, they both arrived in Colorado Springs alongside former Switchbacks head coach Brendan Burke prior to the 2021 USL Championship season. They guided 5 consecutive postseasons. I'm going to say that again. 5 consecutive postseasons with Chambers serving as the head coach during the club's run to its first USL Championship title in 2024 season. So Hogan had served as head coach in the 2023 campaign. He led the side to 16, 13, and 5 before moving to the sporting director. Meanwhile, Chambers posted a record of 29, 26, and 14 across regular season playoffs in 2 seasons, with the side obviously falling to FC Tulsa in those Western Conference quarterfinals. That was not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before it. So they're going to announce a search for a new head coach now, and they'll starting, but we'll see. I mean, I'm sure more of these will come once we wrap up November and teams already start planning for the next season. But congratulations to James Chambers, to Stephen Hogan. We'll see what their future holds, but great job. 5 consecutive postseasons since working in the management for Switchbacks. And that's what it is, just getting a ticket to the dance and then seeing where you can go from there. That ticket to the dance, so crucial. Then I'm going to talk one that I'm shocked with, and I really want to know a bit more. I might do some more digging in. If you are a El Paso fan out there, I'd love to hear from you because this shocked me. Wilmer Cabrera, that's right, El Paso Locomotive announcing back on November 3rd the departure of head coach Wilmer Cabrera. He led side to the 4th place finish in the 2025 season. Obviously, the playoffs did not go where they had anticipated, being eliminated in the Western Conference quarterfinals. But he was a great coach, Wilmer Cabrera. He compiled a 17-19-17 regular season record following the appointment midway through the 2024 USL Championship season. Did okay with the squad in the 2024 season. I mean, from what you had, there was really nothing to play for, but he still did a good job. And then, boom, huge improvement in 2025 season, finishing fourth place, posting a 1.36 points per game mark. They just fell against Phoenix Rising, I guess you can say it's not really an upset because it was the 4th seed against the 5th seed. But yeah, I mean, they didn't garner too many opportunities on target. They kind of, I guess, peaked a little bit earlier in the season, lost a little bit of steam, but still, I mean, if I would double down, the fact you got the club from what was a dire 2024 season, flipped the script in the 2025 season, and now, you depart. I'm curious to know what had gone into the decision, if it was Wilmer Cabrera, if it was just management, or if there was an extension of contract that maybe it just didn't go well in terms of terms. I'm very curious. Might have to do a bit more digging on my side. But if you are from Texas and El Paso area, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Feel free to write me at talkuslchampionship@gmail.com or DM me at talkusl. I'll be happy to shout you guys out in the next episode, 100%. So let's talk the games then. Tulsa against Phoenix, Detroit against Pittsburgh, New Mexico against OC, North Carolina against Rhode Island. Let's start there, shall we? It was a tense tactical semifinal in Cary as North Carolina hosted Rhode Island. A spot in the Eastern Conference final on the line. I mean, who are the defending champions of the Eastern Conference? It is Rhode Island. So the visitors, they started brightly, forcing pressure through Noah Fuson, whose back-to-back shots blocked inside the opening 20 minutes. North Carolina weathered the early surge, began to take control, pushing forward through the likes of Olex Anderson, obviously a staple of the name with regards to North Carolina. He looked the most likely to break the deadlock. St. Vincent and Grenadines International came close twice, first clipping a shot wide on a counterattack, smashing a strike over the crossbar. Minutes later, and those near misses kept the match level heading into halftime. After the restart, Rhode Island nearly grabbed the lead. Frank Darcy redirecting Diop's low cross on frame, forcing a sharp stop save from the keeper. Semele was again the hero on the hour mark, denying J.J. Williams one-on-one with a brilliant save that drew roars from the home crowd. It was a really nice save. But the match started to wear on, and Rhode Island's persistence, momentum was being generated. 9 minutes remaining, Fuson delivering a teasing deep cross from the right, and the substitute, Albert Chico Dikwa, rising to meet it, nodding a precise header inside the left post for the opener. North Carolina threw numbers forward in desperation. Dikwa striking again in stoppage time, capitalizing on that midfield turner. Semele was stranded upfield. The goalkeeper, the Cameroonian, curled the ball from distance into an empty net finish to seal a 2-0 victory. Talking those last-minute gasps happened in 3 of the 4 games. Here as well, just to get the insurance policy. But a statement performance from the defending Eastern Conference champions. Dikwa's late brace as a substitute, 2 goals in 15 minutes, lifting Rhode Island to their second consecutive Eastern Conference final in the past 2 years since becoming a franchise. Holy smokes. Anderson obviously was inches away. He did have North Carolina's best chance the night, but Rhode Island on the road, pardon the pun, extending its unbeaten run in road playoff matches to 5, showcasing its big game pedigree. And Chico Dikwa, player of the match, 2 goals in 10 minutes. Albert Dikwa, the 27-year-old who was the creme de la creme in the 2023 season. He had the golden boot back then for Pittsburgh, if you recall. Those 21 goals in 32 games. This time around, this season, it was good. It was a slow start to Rhode Island. Obviously, they were draw kings of 2024, but he did have some solid outings in the middle of that season. He had 11 goals in 34 games. This season hasn't panned out too much. Obviously, more goals coming in the 4 USL Jägermeister Cup appearances of Rhode Island, 3 of them in 4. In the league, though, it was only 3 goals. Last time he had scored in the league was Tampa Bay Rowdies, the 12th. And then before that was way a couple months back. And wasn't starting, only started 19 games out of the 29 matches available in the championship so far. 1,700 minutes played. And boom, just like that, re-announcing himself as, yeah, don't forget, I existed as well. Boom, 2 goals to the good. And we'll get our ticket to the Eastern Conference final. Rhode Island turning a deadlock semifinal into a late 2-goal triumph. And this is when you have guys that have done it before, they can do it again. North Carolina hit in the woodwork in this one as well, but only 3 shots on target compared to Rhode Island's 4. The big news that came out of it, obviously, was just the following, that North Carolina had made the decision that they will not compete in the USL Championship following this 2025 conclusion. Local business leader North Carolina FC chairman Steve Malik announced on November 4th the club submitted an application to join the USL new Division I league. He also serves as the chairman for the North Carolina Courage, the women's championship. The application begins a formal process that could bring top-level men's professional soccer to Raleigh. So as a result, North Carolina will not compete in the USL Championship after the 2025 season, when the team's franchise agreement ends, and will focus on positioning the club for Division I. So it's a deeply difficult decision, he has said, but that's it. That's it for North Carolina. Adios. Pretty much, he had said to our North Carolina players, staff, and fans, thank you. You've been the heart and soul of the club. Your passion, loyalty, and belief made North Carolina FC something truly special. It's not goodbye, but a step toward building an even brighter future for the sport we all love. So there you go. Division I, putting the official formal process commencing, and North Carolina will not be a part of the USL Championship next season because of it. They also announced USL, just an FYI, and we'll talk more about this once the season concludes, but how the Division I is shaping up, how promotion relegation will be in these top 3 leagues in USL going forward. But on November 3rd, this is a pretty cool one. Tony Scholes, CFO, Chief Football Officer, not Chief Financial Officer, Chief Football Officer of the English Premier League, former CEO of Stoke City for many years. He has been officially named as the president of the USL's new top-tier Division I professional men's league. He'll oversee the operations of the league, shaping the structure, standards, and the long-term development as USL prepares to introduce promotion relegation to United States professional soccer. What a guy with a plethora of experience, as well as with the APL, Premier League. Holy smokes, talking about just pretty much soccer and football in the United States taking shape going forward. Nicholas Murray, obviously, with the coverage there. So that is it. Congratulations, Rhode Island, for making it on your way to the conference finals. We'll talk Tulsa and Phoenix. Oh yeah, this one, incredible. Packed One Oak Field, sold out, jam-packed to the rafters. Tulsa and Phoenix went the distance. Tense, grinding Western Conference semifinal. It was a first half that was cagey, both sides struggling to find the rhythm. Tulsa looked for quick transitions while Phoenix leaned on the possession, but neither could find the breakthrough. The match's first real look came after halftime when Tulsa's Ian headed over from a short corner routine, followed by Phoenix's Charlie Dennis, who's deflected a strike safely in the hands of Tyler Derrick. The 90 minutes came and went. Extra time brought flashes of desperation. Tulsa's Jamie Weber narrowly rolled a shot just wide of the far post. Phoenix substitute Sacco had his effort blocked by Lamar Batista in a crucial defensive stand. Penalties were looming. Both teams visibly drained. It seemed inevitable that the semifinal would be settled from the spot, but then, stoppage time of extra time, Tulsa, man oh man, they've done it so many countless amount of times so far this season, finding the breakthrough moment at the last moment of the match. A free kick swung in from the left, fell to Taylor Calhera, whose block shot looped high into the box. The ball swung, he kind of hung in the air. Who's there? Stefan Lukic, the Serbian, super sub hero from the previous round, and previous rounds, I should say. Man, one measured swing with his right foot, hitting the ball off the bounce. The Serbian connected cleanly on like a side volley, sending it into the net for the 120th plus 2 winner. Deja vu for Tulsa, pure elation for the home crowd. Their second straight extra time victory, first ever berth in the Western Conference final. Lukic striking again in extra time. Tulsa defeats Phoenix 1-0 to reach the Western Conference final for the 1 seed. Stefan Lukic scoring his second consecutive extra time winner. And it just proving that he is in the hallmark of what a super sub is. And the fortress holds. One Oak Field remaining undefeated fortress through the playoffs. Tulsa continue to find the late game home magic right in One Oak Field. Jamie Weber, solid, complete two-way performance, 2 shots, 4 interceptions to 16 dual wins on the night. Lamar Batista, a wall in defense. You can shout him out from Phoenix's side. Charlie Dennis obviously looked most dangerous for the visitors. He created several half chances, but just couldn't find the breakthrough. And Tulsa on the night, 11 shots, 112 final third entries, 157 of the 338 passes in the final third. Meanwhile, Phoenix only had 1 shot on target, only had 62 final entries on the night. So, obviously tilted much more towards Tulsa in regards to, but not much shots on target between the two sides. That's the thing. A lot of block shots in the night instead. And touches in the opposition box were quite similar, but man, oh man, Stefan Lukic, stand up, shout your name out from the mountains. This guy has been on fire this season for FC Tulsa. I mean, just incredibleness. I mean, coming on as a super sub against El Paso in late October, now against Colorado Springs to get the winner. Phoenix rising to get the winner. I mean, keep the guy on the bench because he's just on fire. August was a great day for, great time for him as well. He'd scored in 3 consecutive games from late July to August, twice against Monterey Bay, once against Loudoun, coming on as a super sub. But it's just been, that's been him. That's been him this season. 6 goals in the championship this season, 1 goal in the Jägermeister Cup. I think all of those goals had come as a substitute besides Las Vegas Knights, where he started back in, what was that? That was, I think, May, if I'm not mistaken. No, April, late April. So incredible stuff. Per 90, averaging, get this, per 90, he's averaging 0.82 goals. It's in the 98th percentile of players in similar positions on the right wing. The 29-year-old Serbian, wow, what a free transfer from Tulsa, from Chattanooga Red Wolves beforehand. This guy is etching his name in the FC Tulsa history. Congratulations to you there. We'll get into talking Detroit and Pittsburgh, this was the only one of the conference quarterfinals that it went to penalty kicks. 6,220 fans at Highmark Stadium. Record crowd, which was really cool to see. Pittsburgh, Detroit battling through 120 minutes. I think the Hounds were on the front foot early, right? Creating danger. Opening 2 minutes, Bradley Sample testing Saldana. Yeah, had the host. They thought they finally broken through in the second half. Not really much happened in the first half besides that. Obviously, just taking time, and Pittsburgh is one of those teams that will just kind of bleed you out as much as they can, and go the distance per se, and wait for the opportunity. Did the same pretty much with Hartford. But this is back-to-back games for Pittsburgh where they take it to penalty kicks, and they thought they broke through in the second half when Augie Williams headed home from close range. The goal, though, disallowed for a foul from Augie Williams, pushing the back of the Detroit defender. Detroit's best look did come in extra time when Adebayo Smith slipped behind the defense, only for Eric Dick, Hounds keeper, to charge out, make a crucial one-on-one save. Time was winding down. Pittsburgh nearly won it again themselves from Burton Jackson's flicked header that struck the woodwork. Neither side could find the net before the whistle just pretty much set to penalties. And I think Pittsburgh were fine going to penalties again at home. All about composure. Detroit jumped ahead early in the shootout. Saldana denied Robbie Mertz, which was crazy, but momentum swung dramatically when Devin Momensa and Ryan Williams both struck the post on consecutive rounds. Pittsburgh seized the moment. Augie Williams, Sean Suber converting coolly to flip the script after Michael Bryant gave Detroit a lifeline. Puerto Rican international Edrak stepping up for Pittsburgh and delivered, smashing his kick into the top right corner. Saldana got a hand on it, but wasn't strong enough. 4-3, the final score in the shootout. Hounds keep the nerve from the spot to edge Detroit City and reach their Eastern Conference final, the first Eastern Conference final of the modern era of the USL Championship. Sellout crowd of 6,220, the largest in club history. That's what happens when, first seeds bow out, second seeds bow out, and all of a sudden you're the fourth seed, highest in the Eastern Conference. And yeah, you're hosting, not taking on North Carolina out of the equation, right? So that's crazy. I mean, Sean Suber, immense defensively, he had 8 clearances, 9 recoveries in the night. Edrak was the hero of the night, obviously scoring. Dick recording another shutout, key saves in both regulation and extra time. Saldana played well as well. He had 3 saves in open play, 1 in the shootout. But man, oh man, this is how it's gone. But from Detroit City's side, Kobe Hernandez-Foster, that big signing he made midseason, well, he paid out. He scored when Zadi had got the scoring under the way. But yeah, back-to-back misses. Devin Momensa was the one really that killed it because he could have taken the lead. And then Ryan Williams as well, not being able to convert from the spot. 3 shots on target in the night for Pittsburgh, who had the lion's share of possession. Only 2 shots on target for Detroit. And Pittsburgh put their ticket and their snap into the conference finals. So it's Pittsburgh against Rhode Island. One of those teams will be the Eastern Conference champions. One of those teams will make it to the final. The other game that we need to talk about is New Mexico taking on Orange County, a night of pure playoff drama at the Lab Isotopes Park. New Mexico OC fighting to the final whistle. Opening half, saw both sides trade dangerous chances. Latinovic forced a sharp save from Shakes with a glancing at her, while at the other end, Greg Hertz narrowly missed connecting in a stretching effort inside the box. Really nice ball played early. I think it was from Macaulay. And then Hurst had a diving header, just went wide. And that was kind of the thing with New Mexico. A lot of the chances kind of hit in those side nettings. But hey, this is what happened. 4 minutes in the second half, New Mexico broke through. Hurst pounced on his own rebound after his initial shot came off the post, smashing the follow-up into the net for a 1-0 lead. It was a deflected shot that came off Benalcazar, sending the home crowd into a frenzy. Orange County didn't fold, though. Around the 68th minute, Silla, who was coming in, by the way, for Chris Haggard, who was suspended, he whipped in a teasing corner from the right. Malik Pinto meeting it cleanly on the volley. The shot weaved through traffic, past all the New Mexico players as well as Chris Shakes. The equalizer came then for OC in the 16th minute. It was silent at the Lab, which was just incredible. It was a 1-1 draw. Looked like it was going to go to the extra time. Then, the moment that will live long in Albuquerque folklore, a long ball back, really found its way diagonally to Valentin Noel, who's been just showing himself and what he's potential in these big games. Big game player, absolutely. Left flank, he's surrounded by defenders. He turns, he lays the ball back to Dayon Harris, Harris, who had drifted into space at the top of the box, Harris strikes it perfectly. He knuckles the crap out of the ball. Rising drive into the near top left corner. Colin Shudler gets a hand to it. It's way too strong. It's a rocket, and it hits off his hand into the net in the 94th minute. Another last-minute winner in this one. And Isotope sparked the lab. Boom, went into a frenzy. New Mexico reaching its first ever Western Conference final, capping off a storybook return for Harris, who just was months earlier recovering from a torn ACL. His stoppage time strike sending New Mexico past OC into the Western Conference final for the first time in club history against now FC Tulsa. Left side dominance, 43% approximately of New Mexico's possession came down the left flank. Another late winner in Albuquerque, adding to United's growing legend of late game magic, which is going to be so cool to see. I think you just need to tune into the last 15 minutes of New Mexico against Tulsa, because there will certainly be a goal that's happening there. How did New Mexico turn a game that seemed destined for extra time? I think they stuck to their identity: energy, patience, and attack, late game belief. The home crowd, the lab is always, it's one of the staples of the USL. 10,000, 150 people in attendance there. Craziness there. And also congratulations to them for getting past a very persistent OC side, I think we can say. And OC had a great season, without a doubt, and they don't mind mixing things up. They don't mind being the anti-hero per se, not the anti-hero, but just sticking. They're close. They're gritty. OC. They turned into a gritty side this past season, and they shut out Sacramento in the previous match. They made it all the way to the conference semifinals, and for a 7th seed to do that, tremendous stuff. The other 7th seed on the other side of the bracket, Rhode Island, they made it through again. But hey, that's how it is, and that's how it goes. New Mexico will take on FC Tulsa next. Well, also then Rhode Island will take on Pittsburgh. This is when the games are happening. Semifinals will be Saturday, November 15th on ESPN+, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 Pacific for the Pittsburgh-Rhode Island game. And then the other game will take place at 8:30 p.m., 5:30 Pacific at One Oak Field, FC Tulsa hosting New Mexico. And we talked about other news as well, coaching changes. I'm sure more will come out this week, but a shorter episode, not much games to cover, and we are down to 4, ladies and gentlemen. Playoffs have been tremendous so far. We'll see. I like Pittsburgh against Rhode. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen between these two games now. I think New Mexico will make it to the final. Someone just tells me that. And from Rhode Island, Pittsburgh side of things, I will go Pittsburgh. So just making these predictions, go either way. But this is what we like to see, and we love seeing more of it. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week to cover those remaining games in the playoffs presented by Terminix 2025 USL Championship. Have a great week, everybody. Stay in touch. Take care.